Hey, I'm Eric. I'm listening to 100 albums in 100 days. For all the details on what I'm doing and why, check out the video pinned in my profile. Today, I listened to the 1975 album Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy from Elton John. I've never listened to an Elton John album at all. I know, a handful of songs from uh, what everybody knows from the radio. I will say that I'm Still Standing, which was a single in '83, I think. Again, like yesterday's video, that was one of the first videos I saw. That one I saw on MTV. So, I've heard that song a million times, and some, handful of other songs, but I've never listened to an album. I had a friend in high school who was a huge Elton John fan, and he was a keyboard player too. And he was always trying to get me to listen to this or that, this album or these songs. He made me a tape one time of, because he was just intent on getting me to be an Elton John fan, and he made me a tape of songs. And I remember listening to it, but just not being able to get into it. It just was not my thing at the time. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that in high school I was a metalhead and getting into harder and harder music. So Elton John was not on the radar. But anyway, I picked this album though because I read an article, or I read a snippet of an interview with Elton John, and he thinks that this is. He has a longtime songwriting friend named Bernie Taupin. Elton John thinks this is their best album that they did together. It's autobiographical of their history together as they were starting out in the music business, the first couple of years of their careers. Bernie Taupin calls it a concept album. But anyway, so that's why I picked this album. First half of the album, which is the first 5 songs, terrific. The title track, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. That's the lead off song on the album. Like you've heard me say in other videos, it's always great to have a song like that to just start your album out with. It's a terrific song. All of side 1 is really great. It ends with a 7-minute opus of a song called "Someone Saved My Life Tonight," which happens to be the only single that was released off the album. Which is crazy because it's 7 minutes long, and that's not, nowadays you don't have 7-minute singles. It was unheard of then. But yeah, that's the only single from the album, and it's a great song. It's terrific. Side 2, the second half of the album, I just could not. Other than the first song on side 2, which was "Gotta Get Me a Meal Ticket," which is probably my favorite song on the album. Awesome song. The rest of it, though, I just could not get into. Didn't skip the tracks. Still good songs because Elton John and Bernie Taupin can write some amazing songs. Elton John writes terrific music, and Bernie Taupin is a lyricist extraordinaire. But I just couldn't get into the rest of that album after that song. I don't know why. I just couldn't. Overall, though, I think this is a great album. The next album, called The Captain and the Kid, is a continuation. It picks up where this album left off in their history together. I'm probably going to listen to that just because, this is because it's autobiographical, and B, because Taupin said it was a concept album, and I have a thing for concept albums. And so I'm probably going to listen to that next. But overall, I will probably stick to being a greatest hits Elton John fan. I've tried over the years to listen to other Elton John songs, and it's been hit and miss. And so I think after these 2 albums, I think I'll probably just listen to the greatest hits. But this album, and I can guarantee you the next one is going to be worth listening to as well, even though I haven't listened to it yet. This album's worth a listen, even if you just listen to side 1 and the first song on side 2, which would be the first 6 songs. They are tremendous, and they're worth your time. So, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. If you give it a listen, let me know what you think.